high in the tranquil folds of a mist-covered mountain. Where the wind whispered age-old secrets through pine trees, there lived a monk. Not just any monk, but one whose wisdom was said to reach beyond the ordinary. A man whose presence seemed to carry answers to questions not yet spoken. Travelers would brave the climb just to sit with him for a moment, hoping that in his gaze they might glimpse some clarity about their tangled lives. To them, he was not just a man, but a beacon of understanding in a chaotic world. Just below the mountain, in a village laced with narrow paths and echoing laughter, lived two boys known more for mischief than for wisdom. They found delight in crafting tricks that left even the sharpest elders baffled. They laughed not out of cruelty, but out of a restless spirit, always chasing the thrill of surprise. Yet as time passed, a question began to grow among them, a challenge. What if they could outwit the monk, the very symbol of clarity and foresight? Their plan took shape quickly, almost as if it had been waiting to be born. They captured a sparrow, delicate and trembling in their young hands. One of them cupped the tiny creature gently, yet with the knowledge that they held a secret power. The idea was devilishly simple. If the monk said the bird was alive, they would crush it. If he said it was dead, they would release it into the sky. Either way, they would expose a flaw in his wisdom, or so they believed. With confidence woven into their steps, they climbed the steep path, giggling beneath their breath, and found the monk sitting beneath the shade of a weather-worn tree. He greeted them not with suspicion, but with the quiet warmth of one who sees the world beyond faces and questions. One of the boys stepped forward and challenged him, voice proud and bold. "People say you know everything," the boy said. "Let's see if that's true." He hid his hands behind his back. "Tell me, in which hand am I holding something?" The monk looked up, eyes clear like the mountain spring, and spoke softly, "Your right hand." Surprised, the boy showed his hand. "You're right," he said with a smirk. "Now tell me, what is in my hand?" "A bird," the monk replied, without hesitation, without doubt. The boys exchanged a quick glance, caught in the thrill of a game nearing its climax. "So, tell us, is the bird dead or alive?" There was a pause. The monk's gaze held them in place, not harshly, but with something deeper, something ancient. A gentle smile played at his lips as he said, "That, my boys, is as you would have it." Silence fell over the mountain top. The weight of those words, as light as breath, settled heavy on their hearts. In that moment, the trick vanished, the game lost its meaning. They understood. The power had never been with the monk, it had always been in their own hands. And so it is with life. We walk through our days blaming the world for our stumbles. We say we were dealt a bad hand, born into the wrong place, or crossed by fate's cruel hand. We shift responsibility outward, hoping it might relieve the burden of our own decisions. But what the monk reminded those boys, and what we must remind ourselves, is that our life unfolds according to the choices we make, not the circumstances we face. We each hold a bird in our hands, every day. That bird might be our dreams, our relationships, our sense of peace. It could be our attitude toward pain or our response to failure. And whether it lives or dies, whether it blooms or withers, is determined by what we choose to do with it. Unlike the creatures of forest and sky who follow instinct alone, we possess the rare gift of choice. We can think beyond impulse, feel beyond reaction, act beyond reflex. We can transform anger into compassion, fear into courage, loss into understanding. We can rise from brokenness with greater strength than we ever knew we had. Every hardship brings a decision. Do you allow it to harden you, or do you let it soften your soul? When life brings loss, do you close your heart or open it wider to love more deeply? When you fall, do you lie there waiting for someone to lift you, or do you learn to rise on your own? The bird is always in your hands. You may not control the storm that comes, but you decide whether to seek shelter or dance in the rain. You may not change what others say or do, but you control the voice that echoes in your own mind. You may not be able to undo the past, but you decide how much power it holds over your future. The monk's smile was not just for those boys, it's for all of us. It is the smile of someone who has seen the truth and found peace in it. Life is not about predicting the future or knowing all the answers. It's about realizing that every answer you seek lives within the decisions you make every single day. And what a beautiful responsibility that is, to know that your life is your own to shape, that within you lies the power to forgive, to grow, to rise, to thrive. You are not helpless. You are not stuck. You are not at the mercy of the world. You are the sculptor of your story, the author of your path, so the next time you hold your dreams, your fears, your future in your hands, remember the monk's words. Look inward. Trust yourself. You already have everything you need to choose wisely, to live fully, to make the bird fly. Because the truth is, you are wiser than you believe, stronger than you imagine, and more powerful than you've ever been told. And everything begins with the choice you make in this very moment.